This YouTube video was produced with the assistance of artificial intelligence. Specifically, the visuals were generated using ChatGPT, the script was composed using Claude AI, and the narration was synthesized using Edge-TTS. Elevate. Definition: to raise something to a higher position, level, or standard, or to promote someone to a more important rank or status. Collocation: elevate the status, elevate the level, elevate the discussion, elevate performance, elevate awareness. Synonym: raise, lift, promote, enhance, boost. Example: the newly appointed director has made it her mission to elevate the standard of customer service across all branches of the organization. Investing in continuous professional development is one of the most effective ways to elevate employee performance and job satisfaction. The documentary succeeded in elevating public awareness of the environmental challenges facing communities in the most vulnerable coastal areas. Labor. Definition: physical or mental work and effort, especially of a hard or demanding nature, or the workforce of a country or industry considered as a collective group. Collocation: manual labor, labor market, labor force, labor costs, labor shortage. Synonym: work, effort, toil, employment, workforce. Example: the construction industry continues to face a significant labor shortage, making it increasingly difficult to complete projects within the original timeline. Rising labor costs have forced many manufacturers to explore automation as a means of maintaining profitability in a competitive market. The report highlighted the need for comprehensive reforms in the labor market to ensure fair wages and safe working conditions for all employees. Considerable. Definition: notably large in size, amount, extent, or degree, significant enough to be worthy of attention or respect. Collocation: considerable amount, considerable effort, considerable experience, considerable impact, considerable attention. Synonym: significant, substantial, notable, sizable, appreciable. Example: the research team invested a considerable amount of time and resources into developing a methodology that would produce reliable and replicable results. Her considerable experience in international trade negotiations made her the ideal candidate to lead the delegation at the upcoming summit. The policy change had a considerable impact on small businesses, many of which were forced to restructure their operations to remain compliant. Analysis. Definition: the detailed examination and study of something in order to understand its nature, structure, or essential features, often involving breaking it into its component parts. Collocation: data analysis, in-depth analysis, conduct an analysis, cost-benefit analysis, critical analysis. Synonym: examination, evaluation, assessment, investigation, review. Example: the consulting firm was commissioned to conduct a thorough cost-benefit analysis before the board could approve the proposed infrastructure investment. A critical analysis of the survey data revealed several unexpected trends in consumer behavior that had not been previously identified. The financial analysis indicated that the company's current growth strategy was unsustainable and would require significant adjustments within the next fiscal year. Proposition. Definition: a formal statement, suggestion, or plan put forward for consideration, discussion, or acceptance, or a task or undertaking that requires evaluation. Collocation: business proposition, value proposition, attractive proposition, proposition that, risky proposition. Synonym: proposal, suggestion, offer, plan, assertion. Example: the startup presented a compelling value proposition that clearly demonstrated how its product could solve a significant problem in the healthcare sector. Expanding into an unfamiliar overseas market without conducting proper research is widely regarded as a risky proposition for any organization. The committee carefully evaluated each proposition submitted by the competing firms before selecting the one that best aligned with the project's long-term objectives. Probe. Definition: to investigate or examine something thoroughly and carefully, often to uncover hidden information or an investigation or inquiry into a matter. Collocation, probe into, probe the issue, criminal probe, probe further, congressional probe. Synonym, investigate, examine, explore, inquire, scrutinize. Example, the regulatory authority launched a formal probe into the company's financial practices following allegations of accounting irregularities. Journalists continued to probe the issue, uncovering critical evidence that had been deliberately concealed from the public for several years. The committee decided to probe further into the causes of the system failure before issuing its final recommendations to the management team. Resource. Definition: a supply of materials, assets, knowledge, or personnel that can be drawn upon to function effectively or to achieve a particular purpose. Collocation: natural resources, human resources, allocate resources, resource management, limited resources. Synonym: asset, supply, means, source, reserve. Example: effective resource management is essential for organizations that operate in environments where budgets and personnel are severely limited. The government has pledged to invest heavily in the sustainable development of the country's abundant natural resources over the coming decade. The training department has compiled a comprehensive library of online resources to support employees in their continuous professional development efforts. Adversely. Definition: in a way that is harmful, negative, or unfavorable, producing an effect that works against the desired outcome or well-being of something. Collocation: adversely affect, adversely impact, adversely influenced, adversely alter, adversely react. Synonym: negatively, harmfully, unfavorably, detrimentally, badly. Example: prolonged exposure to excessive noise levels in the workplace can adversely affect employees' concentration, productivity, and overall mental health. The unexpected increase in import tariffs adversely impacted the profitability of several small and medium-sized enterprises throughout the region. Environmental experts have warned that continued deforestation will adversely alter the local ecosystem, threatening the survival of numerous plant and animal species. Dismantle. Definition: to take apart or break down a structure, system, or organization piece by piece, often with the intention of removing it entirely. Collocation: dismantle a system, dismantle barriers, dismantle a structure, dismantle an organization, gradually dismantle. Synonym: take apart, demolish, break down, disassemble, strip. Example: the new administration has pledged to dismantle the outdated bureaucratic systems that have long hindered efficiency and innovation within the public sector. Workers were brought in to carefully dismantle the aging industrial facility before construction of the new research center could begin on the site. Activists have called on the government to dismantle the institutional barriers that continue to prevent equal access to education and employment opportunities. Pioneer. Definition: a person who is among the first to explore, develop, or settle in a new area of knowledge, research, or territory, or to be the first to introduce or develop something new. Collocation: pioneer in the field, pioneer a method, pioneer of, pioneering research, pioneering work. Synonym: innovator, trailblazer, founder, originator, leader. Example: she is widely recognized as a pioneer in the field of artificial intelligence, having published groundbreaking research that shaped the direction of the entire discipline. The company pioneered a revolutionary manufacturing process that significantly reduced waste while maintaining the highest standards of product quality. The contributions of early pioneers in space exploration continue to inspire a new generation of scientists and engineers around the world. Comfort. Definition: a state of physical ease and freedom from pain or hardship, or emotional support and reassurance given to someone during a time of difficulty or distress. Collocation: take comfort in, comfort zone, source of comfort, offer comfort, level of comfort. Synonym: ease, relief, consolation, reassurance, well-being. Example: Employees who step outside their comfort zone and embrace new challenges are often the ones who experience the greatest professional growth. The manager took comfort in the fact that the team had successfully navigated similar crises in the past and was well prepared for the current situation. The organization provides ongoing emotional comfort and practical support to families who have been displaced by natural disasters in the affected regions. Circumstance. Definition: a fact, condition, or event that affects a situation, often beyond one's direct control, and that influences decisions, actions, or outcomes. Collocation: under the circumstances, difficult circumstances, unforeseen circumstances, exceptional circumstances, financial circumstances. Synonym: condition, situation, factor, context, state of affairs. Example: under the circumstances, the board concluded that postponing the merger was the most prudent decision to protect the interests of all stakeholders. The scholarship program was established specifically to support talented students from disadvantaged financial circumstances who might otherwise be unable to attend university. Due to unforeseen circumstances beyond our control, the annual conference has been rescheduled to take place during the first week of the following month. Prolong. Definition: to extend the duration or length of something beyond the usual or expected time, making it last longer than originally intended. Collocation: prolong the process, prolong the life, prolong the suffering, prolong negotiations, unnecessarily prolong. Synonym: extend, lengthen, stretch, sustain, draw out. Example: the legal team warned that any further disputes between the parties would only serve to prolong the already lengthy and costly negotiation process. Advances in medical technology have made it possible to prolong the lives of patients suffering from previously untreatable chronic conditions. The committee urged all members to avoid raising unnecessary procedural issues that would prolong the meeting beyond the scheduled time. Aggression. Definition: hostile or violent behavior directed toward others, or a forceful and assertive pursuit of one's goals, sometimes crossing acceptable boundaries. Collocation: active aggression, show aggression, verbal aggression, unprovoked aggression, military aggression. Synonym: hostility, violence, belligerence, combativeness, antagonism. Example: the international community condemned the act of military aggression and called for an immediate ceasefire to prevent further escalation of the conflict. The organization has implemented a strict policy that prohibits any form of verbal aggression or intimidation in the workplace environment. Psychologists suggest that understanding the underlying causes of aggression in children is essential for developing effective intervention strategies in educational settings. Conversely. Definition: used to introduce a statement or idea that is the opposite of or in contrast to what has just been mentioned, highlighting a reversal of perspective. Collocation: conversely stated, conversely true, conversely however, conversely applied, conversely argued. Synonym: on the other hand, in contrast, alternatively, on the contrary, oppositely. Example: investing in employee well-being tends to boost overall productivity and morale. Conversely, neglecting it often leads to higher turnover and decreased performance. Countries with strong educational systems tend to experience sustained economic growth. Conversely, those with inadequate investment in education often struggle to compete globally. A collaborative management style can foster innovation and engagement among team members. Conversely, an overly rigid approach may stifle creativity and reduce motivation. Term. Definition: a word or phrase used to describe a specific thing or concept, or a fixed or limited period of time during which something is in effect or takes place. Collocation: long-term, short-term, in terms of, technical term, term of office. Synonym: word, expression, period, duration, phrase. Example: in terms of overall performance, the department has exceeded its targets for 3 consecutive quarters, which is an impressive achievement. The president is currently serving her second term of office and has announced several ambitious policy initiatives for the remaining years. The technical term for this process may be unfamiliar to a general audience, so it is important to provide a clear and accessible explanation alongside it. Use. Definition. To employ something for a particular purpose or to put something into action in order to achieve a desired result, or the act of employing something. Collocation. Make use of, use effectively, use wisely, widespread use, practical use. Synonym. Utilize, employ, apply, operate, exercise. Example, the company encourages all employees to make full use of the professional development resources that are made available through the internal training platform. The widespread use of digital communication tools has fundamentally transformed the way organizations collaborate across international boundaries. Learning how to use your time wisely and prioritize tasks effectively is a critical skill for achieving success in any demanding professional environment. Indispensable. Definition. Absolutely necessary and essential, so important that it is impossible to manage, function, or succeed without it. Collocation. Indispensable part, indispensable role, indispensable tool, prove indispensable, virtually indispensable. Synonym. Essential, vital, crucial, necessary, irreplaceable. Example, reliable access to high-speed internet has become an indispensable part of daily life for both individuals and businesses in the modern era. Her extensive knowledge of regulatory compliance proved indispensable during the company's complex transition to the new operational framework. Effective communication skills are widely regarded as an indispensable tool for anyone aspiring to take on a leadership role within a large organization. Delay. Definition. To postpone or cause something to happen later than originally planned or expected, or a period of time by which something is made late. Collocation. Without delay, cause a delay, significant delay, delay in delivery, delay the process. Synonym. Postpone, defer, hold up, set back, put off. Example, the management team acted without delay to address the safety concerns that had been raised by employees at the manufacturing facility. A significant delay in the supply of raw materials forced the production team to revise the entire project schedule accordingly. Failure to submit the required documentation on time may delay the approval process by several weeks, potentially affecting the overall project timeline. Share. Definition. To give a portion of something to others, to have or use something in common with others, or a unit of ownership in a company or financial asset. Collocation. Share information, share responsibility, market share, share price, share a view. Synonym. Distribute, divide, portion, contribute, allocate. Example, the department heads agreed to share responsibility for implementing the new quality assurance procedures across all divisions of the company. The company's share price rose sharply following the announcement of a strategic partnership with one of the leading technology firms in the region. Effective team collaboration depends on the willingness of all members to openly share information, ideas, and constructive feedback with one another.